In this podcast episode, we're going to talk about the pros and the cons of having a property managers and not having a property managers. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Sam Kwak, one of the Kwak Brothers, real estate investor, and welcome back to our podcast, episode 21. In this podcast episode, we're going to talk about the pros and cons of having a property manager or not having a property manager. And I do have to tell you, I've been on both sides of the fence. So I once had to manage the properties myself. Today I have, of course, property managers. Having so many units that we have, it's not feasible to manage the properties ourselves. So we understand the business, but it's a matter of delegation, right? So right off the bat, my original inclination or my tendency now is to automatically hire a property manager, just because there's a lot of things that have to do with property management that's repetitive, and what I would also consider to be mid-level activity. Now, when I say mid-level activity, I'm talking about the things that real estate investors should be doing, right? So if you claim to be a real estate investor, your primary activity should be consisting of looking for deals, making offers, making decisions as far as what your next investment is going to be. Becoming a property manager will put you in a category of being a business owner or self-employed if you're obviously by yourself. Now, if you have a successful property management company already where you have staff, employees, and assistants that run it, that's great because that essentially means you have a system in place, and having a system in place is the key to, I'd say, any business, right? But if you don't have a property management company in place already and trying to build one may not be the best idea, you might simply be more apt to just hiring a property management company that already exists. So if you're starting from scratch, let's say you're just getting started, I would highly recommend that you do not build your own property management company, simply because of the whole business philosophy of knowing that our job and real estate investors should be what I just mentioned: finding a property, making an offer, making decisions as to what investment you want to make. However, there are pros to being a property management company yourself. So let's break it down a couple of things that could be beneficial to you. Number one, if you decide to manage your own property, what's good about that is that you actually care about what goes on as far as the operation of the management. Sometimes a lot of these property management companies, they might do a half-fast type of job. I'm not saying not all property management companies do so. There are companies that do a really good job. They really take care of your units as if they are their own. But oftentimes you'll run into these property management companies that just, they're kind of half-assing it. They're not really committed to helping you out. Yes, they're managing the properties and they're making sure that they're getting rented and they're getting paid. But there's something different about you, the owner, managing the property. There seems to be a quality difference as far as the management style and management operation. So that is one pro of you becoming your own property management company. And another pro I can say is you get to save or perhaps pay yourself 8 to 10% of the management fee, whereas you would have basically paid that out to your property managers. A lot of property managers out there would charge you anywhere between 8 to 10% on average. You may run into ones that maybe will charge you 12% or 6%, but I think 8 to 10% has been the sweet spot. Even for my own business, I pay 8% property management fee. And some of my other units, I pay 10%, depending on what type of operation they're running. So you get to pay yourself 8 to 10% of that property management fee to run your property management company, right? And that comes pretty much down to if you are managing or someone else is managing. Either way, you're paying something. There's a cost of you having to manage your own property, and obviously there's a cost of having someone else manage your property. Now, you managing your own property, the cost is, and here's a con, the cost is that you have to spend your own time to manage your property. While though you're getting compensated the 8 to 10% you would have paid to a property management anyways. But the major drawback with you managing your own property is the fact that it's taking the time away from you going out there and buying more properties. Now, going back to the whole system idea, if you have a full-time staff, assistants to run your business, it could be a different story, because now you have time freedom to go out and buy more properties and add more properties into your portfolio. But it's that mindset of you doing everything yourself that could potentially crush you, right? That's what's going to hurt you the most, because that's going to take the most amount of time, which when you're just getting started, let's say with 10 units or 12 units, you're probably going to end up doing everything yourself. So it's kind of like a cycle, right? You can never beat the cycle, or you can never go out and buy more property perhaps, because it's, managing a property is eating all the time away. But when you want to hire someone, well, you don't have enough income to pay someone that kind of money to manage your existing property. So this is why from the get-go, I think it might be better just to hand it off to a property management company who have economy of scale, right? They more than likely are managing 100, 200, 300, perhaps thousands of units. They can absorb those costs because of the amount of units that they're managing. So that's why my personal opinion is that you want to hire a property manager if you want to stay a true passive real estate investor who just goes out there, finds the deals, makes the deals happen, negotiates the deal, right? Those are the skill set that you want to develop, not necessarily so much being a full-time property manager. Kind of, balancing this, right? Another pro of being a property manager is that you know very much the ins and out of your own property. You get more control over what goes in and out of your property. So there might be a quality of operation. So it goes back to my first point. If you manage your own property, you're going to manage it typically better than if someone else was managing it, managing your property. The another pro, I guess, to go a level deeper is that you'll get the opportunity to see the ins and out of how you can improve the quality of the property. And when you have more focus towards your own property, you tend to catch mistakes or catch problems long before they happen. Whereas if there's a little bit of negligence, or another property management company may not catch it because they're not putting as much care as you do, that problem can grow. And my favorite saying is problems grow interest. So you want to stop problems before they grow in interest. So those are, I guess, the three pros that I can think of. You can definitely increase the quality of our operation. And but the drawback is it tends to be harder to scale to where if you want 300, 400, 500 units, it's going to be a little bit more difficult if you are spending your time in managing versus, handling those activities that typically go hand in hand of becoming a true definition of real estate investor. Now, I do see successful people who do both, but again, that's going back to building a system, having employees, having assistants to run it, having maintenance team, right? Everything. You have to truly run it like a business, right? So that goes to, I guess, my point of if you want to build a successful system, you got to have other people working for you. You got to have a clear process and methodology of your business. You're going to have to also have different type of people doing different things. So you may have one person doing all the accounting, the billing, right? You may have another person handling all the late rents, right? And sending people to eviction. You may have another person that coordinates maintenance, right? So you're going to have different people that are going to be working for you to make sure that you have a very well-greased machine running for your own property management company. So I guess it comes down to what your business philosophy is. If you're focused on trying to get more properties as much as you can, and you have a full-time job on the side, there's no way you're going to be able to make property management your full-time. It's just going to exhaust you. You're going to be burned out. Not a good idea. So you're more than likely you're probably better off just hiring a property management company, pay them 8 to 10%, and let them handle most of the day-to-day stuff. Now, if you are transitioning, let's say, from having a full-time job to becoming a full-time real estate investor, I mean, first of all, congratulations. Then I can see you starting to build your own property management where you can recoup that 8 to 10% cost. You'll pay yourself to do the management, and you might be at a scale where you can support yourself with the amount of cash flow, number one, coming in, and number two, from your own paying yourself the property management fee. Now, clearly, if you're in that path, You're going to sacrifice a little bit of the time in management. Okay, even though you may have a system or employee, you're still going to have to take some time away to manage the team, right? So there's still going to be time that you're going to commit to property management. But if you have that kind of system and staff people available in your team, then you can actually take a portion of that time and invest it in finding more opportunities out there to buy more properties. Or it could be the total extreme on the other side of the spectrum where you will not touch management, right? All you do is just buy real estate and that's all you do. Maybe that might be a different route that you want to go with. So I guess it all depends on what I like to call the investor ID, right? Your investor DNA, your strengths, your weakness, your personality, your lifestyle goal. I guess that's where you're going to make that determination whether you want to become your own property management company or not. Okay, I do have a podcast. If you want to hire a property management company, I do have a separate podcast episode where you'll see that you'll see the things that you'll need to be looking out for. Some of the things that you'll want to check and factor in, kind of like a checklist to make sure that you're hiring the right property management company. I will tell you, there's a lot of property management companies that don't do a good job of managing properties. Their maintenance costs might be out of whack. So you may want to watch out for those. So you may want to shop around for property management companies, especially if there are more than one in your town. So I guess to kind of recap everything and to put everything in structure, pros and cons of having a property management company or not. If you are your own property management company, chances are your quality will go up in terms of your management style. You'll get to see the ins and outs. And more than likely, you'll deal with the problems a lot sooner than the property management company will. So those are the pros. The cons, if you're a one-man show, it's going to take away time. It's going to drain your energy, especially if you were working for a full-time job on top of the property management yourself. That's going to burn you out. So you have to really make a determination. Now, you may start off being your own property management company and later on hiring a separate company to take over the management. I've seen people do that. That happens quite often and frequently. So if you're going to go ahead and hire a property management company, make sure you check out my other podcasts about what to look for, what to avoid. Again, there's a lot of property management companies that could hurt you more than helping you. So that's super duper important. So guys, that's pretty much it for this podcast episode. If you have any questions about property management, how to look for a property management company, or certain type of property management question, go ahead and leave them down below in the comment section of this video. We'll love to chat with you, answer any questions that you may have. Oh, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And on top of that, make sure you hit that bell icon, because apparently hitting the subscription button doesn't mean anything. You have to hit the bell icon to get any fresh new content that we'll be uploading every single week, all about real estate investing. So guys, thank you so much for tuning into our podcast. Thank you so much for allowing me to spend some time with you. I will see you guys in the next podcast episode. Well, you're at the end of the podcast episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. That means you like us and you love us. Be sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out some of these other videos that we have about real estate investing. If you don't subscribe, that means we're going to starve to death and we're not going to make more videos. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel so that we can keep eating ourselves and provide you guys more awesome real estate content. All right, stick around. See you guys.